What's up guys, Ben here and welcome to Motivation to Invest. Electric vehicle stocks have seen a massive boost in popularity from companies such as Tesla, which are up by over 500%, to NIO, the Chinese version of Tesla, and even Nikola Motors, which has a market cap of over $16 billion, which is larger than Ford, yet hasn't even sold any vehicles. So what does this excitement around electric vehicle stocks say about the market tides? Well, it says that there's a lot of momentum moving towards this clean energy industry. But out of all those companies I just mentioned, they are not solving a crucial problem which does need electrification, and that is last mile delivery. So with the increase of people shopping online and using delivery services, the last mile of delivery is often the most expensive for these delivery companies and also the most important. So in this video, I'm going to reveal a pure play electric vehicle company which specializes in this last mile delivery. They're called Workhorse and they are front runners for a contract with USPS of over $6 billion. To put things into perspective, Workhorse currently has a market cap of just $1.83 billion. So if they even got a small portion of this contract, then that could mean the stock could easily double or triple. So if you wish to know if Workhorse has a good chance of getting this contract, and also whether it's a good EV stock to buy in general, then you should definitely watch this video until the end. At the end of this video, I'm going to reveal to you guys whether I personally have bought shares in Workhorse. So without further ado, let's dive in. Welcome back guys to Motivation to Invest. Before we get started, it would really mean a lot to me if you guys can give this video a big thumbs up. That really helps out with the YouTube algorithm, which allows me to create more great content like this for you guys. In addition, if you want more investing tips and exclusive stock market picks, which I personally am investing into, then you should definitely subscribe to the Motivation to Invest community and turn that notification bell on. With that being said, let's get into the video. So who are Workhorse? Workhorse is a company which is founded in 2007 and specializes in manufacturing electric vehicles for last mile delivery. They also have a drone system attached to many of their vans, which is set to change the delivery industry. So why should you care about Workhorse stock? Well, apart from all the exuberance surrounding EV stocks in general, Workhorse is actually a frontrunner for the $6 billion USPS contract. And there are some big reasons why I think they could definitely win this contract. This also comes at a really special time because I've noticed that we're coming to the end of the US government's fiscal year. Thus, it's expected that they will award this contract before the end of September. And when that happens, the stock could skyrocket. The show goes on! And it's not just the fiscal year end. Hundreds of USPS delivery trucks are catching fire as they're just so old. Some of them trucks have been around for over 24 years. Best. So which companies could potentially be awarded this $6 billion USPS contract? Well, it's been narrowed down to 4 companies. The first is Karzan, which is a Turkish manufacturer of hybrid vehicles. To me, it just doesn't seem likely that somebody like Donald Trump, Mr. USA, would award this massive US government contract to a foreign manufacturer.
Respect to Turkey. Respect to Turkey.
But that's not all. The other 2 front runners for this government contract include Mahindra, which is offering a gasoline and hybrid vehicle, and Ford, partnering with Oshkosh to provide a gasoline-powered truck. But here's the kicker, guys. So according to the legislative updates, the House has passed a Move America Forward Act with the Postal Infrastructure Investment. Now, this bill included $25 billion for postal infrastructure modernization, including $6 billion to upgrade the postal vehicles. However, it also says that it requires 75% of the new fleet be electric or zero-emission vehicles. This automatically eliminates Mahindra and Ford, as they are both offering primarily gasoline-powered delivery vehicles. Now you can see why I personally believe that Workhorse is definitely the favourite to win this contract. But there's even more, guys. So we're coming up to presidential elections and Trump needs Ohio, which is a swing state. And guess where Workhorse is based? Ohio. As it turns out, no Republican candidate in history has ever won the presidential election without winning Ohio. Going back to the last presidential election, we can see that Trump mainly won over Ohio by appealing to blue-collar workers. So if he decides to use a similar tactic this time, then it seems pretty straightforward that he could just simply award this billion-dollar contract to the state of Ohio and, of course, Workhorse, giving manufacturing jobs to the entire community, thus securing votes for his presidential re-election.
The Democrat politicians we're fighting today are the same ones who took a sledgehammer to Ohio jobs and factories. They destroyed your factories, they destroyed your jobs. But they're losing and we're winning, and America's comeback continues full speed ahead.
If that's not a master plan, I don't know what is. Anything else like awarding this contract to a Turkish company seems like political suicide. But then again, it is Donald Trump, so anything can happen. But that's not all, guys. Donald Trump actually has a history of applying pressure to automotive companies, especially those involved with manufacturing, and he also has a history with Workhorse. So Trump actually pressured General Motors to reopen its Lordstown, Ohio plant. And after a massive amount of this pressure, Donald Trump actually convinced General Motors to sell Lordstown to Workhorse. Workhorse now owns 10% of Lordstown Motors, and there is an IPO coming very, very soon. Workhorse will get 1% commission on the first 200,000 trucks sold. And to make things even better for Workhorse, Lordstown Motors is manufacturing what's supposedly supposed to be one of the first US EV pickup trucks. And what's the most popular vehicle in the US? Well, that is the Ford F-150, a pickup truck. And with all this momentum behind EV stocks, it seems a no-brainer that Lordstown stock should fly on IPO. And thus, as it sells more pickup trucks, Workhorse will continue getting a big cut. Lordstown Motors announced it will merge with Diamond Peak Holdings Group, and the deal is expected to take place in the fourth quarter of 2020. The merger values Lordstown at $1.6 billion at $10 per share. The company already has commitments from institutional investors such as Fidelity Management, Wellington Management, and the auto company GM. GM plans to invest $75 million into the new company. The first $25 million will be paid in cash. So how does this all fit together, and why is it important for Workhorse right now? Well, first you have this government contract, $6 billion, of which Workhorse seems like a likely candidate as the only pure play US EV delivery truck manufacturer. Then you have another growth catalyst, the Lordstown IPO, which is manufacturing an electric pickup truck. But that's not all, guys. If we call those waves in the ocean, the general tide is moving towards EV stocks, and we see a lot of momentum and exuberance behind these stocks. So you've got three major growth catalysts there, which could cause the stock to fly. But that's not all, guys. If you guys have watched this channel before, you'll know that on this channel, we love Cathie Wood. She's a great, disruptive, innovative investor who's the fund manager for ARK Invest. They're a company which spotted Tesla early, and its actively managed ETFs have outperformed the market massively. If we dive into ARK Autonomous Technology and Robotics ETF, we can see at stock number 26, we have Workhorse, which makes up 1.62% of the portfolio. So it's not just all the growth catalysts I've mentioned previously, we also have Cathie Wood, who has faith in Workhorse. So if you guys watch this channel regularly, you know one of the great things about it is I'm not like these other YouTubers where I'll just go and tell you just a one-sided story about a stock and say invest into it, it's fantastic, it's amazing, it's the best thing since sliced bread. No, I will give you both sides of the story so you guys can make your own decision, because I'm not a financial advisor, and personally with this stock, it's extremely speculative. It is high risk, but it is also high reward. With this particular stock, don't invest any money which you can't afford to lose. But let's get into the downsides. So the downside to this stock is pretty obvious. Firstly, some of this news is already priced in. So diving into the share price for Workhorse Group, we can see that it was between $3 and $4 per share in June 2020. And now it's up by over 600%. So even just investing into this stock as a trade, you would have made an absolute killing. So imagine £10,000, you would have made over £60,000 or $60,000 in just 1 month. So that's the first risk. The stock has pulled back slightly and it's now trading at around $18 per share. But this is incredibly risky, as the government announced it may potentially award this contract to Workhorse, its stock has risen by over 600%. To me, that says a lot of the good news is priced in the stock already. And if they don't award the contract to Workhorse, the stock will drop massively. Now, I'm not saying there's no more upside in the stock, because I believe there is. The market cap is only 1.83 billion, and I could easily see that doubling. But if you look at this from a risk-reward basis, I would say it's likely that the stock could double or even triple, but it could also drop by even up to 4 times. So that's the risk you would take with this stock. The second risk of this stock is this other growth catalyst, which is the big tide which is moving towards EV vehicles. Although I believe this will continue into the future, Tesla is the golden child of this movement. So if there is an issue with Tesla stock and for some reason the share price drops, let's say their factory burned down or they had some major disaster, Elon Musk was assassinated or something crazy happened, then all the other EV stocks in the entire industry would also plummet, because that's the way the market works. There's a large speculative component and fear embedded into many of these stocks. So what's the other risk with Workhorse stock? Well, currently its financials are very weak. So Workhorse Group recently reported lackluster second quarter results, with a loss per share widening to 12 cents per share from 10 cents per share. So the company is still not profitable and its turnover is very low. Apart from the unprofitability, there has also been an increase of 682% in expenses, which has risen nearly the same amount as its share price. The company also has quite high debt, with a debt to equity ratio of 1.74. So to me, this is quite a speculative investment. It's very high risk, but also with very high rewards. So I know what you guys are thinking. You're thinking, Ben, have I invested into this stock? Now, if you guys watch this channel regularly, you'll know one of the unique things about Motivation to Invest is I'm very transparent about the stocks I buy and even sometimes when I'm buying them. So this particular investment, although it doesn't fit with my traditional investing style, with investing more on fundamentals, I have bought a very small speculative stake in Workhorse. Now this is an extremely tiny part of my portfolio, and if the stock crashes, I don't mind losing that investment. However, if the contract comes through, I could see a nice triple on the stock. Now remember guys, this is not financial advice. So with this particular stock, don't invest any money you can't afford to lose. The stock has already risen by over 600% in just a couple of months. It does have large potential for major government contracts, which could see the stock price triple, but there are some major risks. With me personally, if the stock did crash, I would just hold it for a few more years, the same way ARK Invest is doing. So what are your thoughts on Workhorse as a business and as a stock? Do you think the good news is already priced in, or do you think this stock has more room to run? Let me know in the comments below and I'll join in the discussion. And if you guys want more investing tips and exclusive stock market picks, which I personally am investing into, then you should definitely subscribe to this channel and turn that notification bell on. With that being said, I will see you guys in the next video. Invest safe.